Hello everyone, I got some very exciting news on the Baldur's Gate 3's patch 8 stress test, which I am now in finally. And I got a lot of cool updates regarding this that not a lot of people are talking about, because there's some very great things like the ability to turn on all your mods all at once. We got obviously the photo mode, which is what you're looking at right now with all the goofy dancing going on. I'm actually blown away by the level of detail here. As someone that really enjoys photo modes, this is one of the best that I've seen. And we also got the 12 new subclasses, which I'll briefly be breaking down in this video. So you can expect some more patch 8 stress test content coming your way, because I'm finally into it here. But I guess the first thing we'll touch on is the photo mode here. This is so cool. You can see we got all the characters looking right at the screen, so you can set this up here. There's a lot of customization that you can do, so you can move it around freely. You got this free cam here that can look all the way around here. You got like a lot of options, so you can choose different focus characters here. You can track the characters. You can kind of move the camera angles around. But you can also do it freely with your controller or your keyboard here, and you can angle it just the way you want. You got these great field of view, so you can zoom right in, see the character, change the background like a normal camera would, and then you can also create a crazy wide field of view here, which makes things look distorted and pretty cool, actually. You can change the exposure, making things brighter and darker as you see fit. The depth of field mode as well, if you got that set up. But the character settings here is what I think is actually some of the coolest stuff. So you can make the characters, like, I'll just focus on my Dark Urge here and change how their face looks. So we got the smiling. Be prepared for the uncanny valley whenever you go grinning here, so you can make your character grin. You can make it so that they're laughing too. It looks kind of funny on some of these, but I think that's the whole purpose of it. You can just make things like they're content there. You can change around the dancing, and there's a lot of different choices for dancing, as you can see here. It's actually pretty crazy what all you can do with this. So I'm a huge fan of this. I love photo modes. I love everything about this, and it's just really cool. The characters can break it down here. You got this techno dance. I try to match the dances with what I think they would all each do. So you can see there, Gale's doing the twist and shout. They have a great selection of dances here. You can also kind of move your characters around as you see fit in the map, and also you can go outside of the photo mode and rearrange them too. Putting it into turn-based mode also allows that. You can also make it so that it shows their camp clothing if you want, so you don't have to have your outfit. You can make it show their instruments. You can make it not show their weapons. You can show the helmets. A lot of customization here. You also got options of changing the color grading, which can get pretty interesting here. So yeah, it's definitely stuff that you can mess around with to find what looks best for your photos. And even if you just want to make them dance like this, I think that in itself is pretty fun. You got all the vignette settings, you got frames you can put around here, and the stickers, which I'll get to right now, because this is what I think to be some of the funnest stuff, because it adds a ton of new stickers here. Bunch of emoji like ones. So you got Winking Gale there, you got Cool Guy Halson, Bashful Jahara. And they got all the class icons, but the emojis here is my favorite part. So once we scroll down to it, you even got like Christmassy themed ones, got different eyes, Santa Claus hat. These emojis here. So you got this Astarian drool emoji. I love this Gale laugh emoji. I think that this one is hilarious. Just look at that. And then you can also place these wherever you want. It's just so funny. This reminds me of Wario. You can make it as big as you want to. It's so funny. I'm having a blast with this. You can mirror it around and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's actually pretty in-depth of what you can do. There's some more awesome stickers. Like I like this Minthara Devil one that we got here. Like this suits Minthara so well. It's perfect. You got this Ishtik Lae'zel cursing emoji. Got this angry Karlak emoji. You got the smirky Halson. You got Gale pleading. Volo thinking, Will's kiss, and Shadowheart eye roll, and a happy Shadowheart. These are really, really fun. As you continue down, there's some other ones here. Love the snow. The nether stones there. There's a lot that you can use to spice up your own pictures that you take with this. They even leaned into the memes. I was right there. Whenever you drop the building on top of Astarian, you got the smirking bear and the shock squirrel, and they even have the sitting badger. I think that's awesome that they are going full in on the memes from Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah, this is just so fun to see. I love Larian for things like this. This is just peak. So that is what the photo mode looks like, and yeah, it's pretty well done. Now I do know some different changes, like the arcane batteries using the Markaheshker staff icon here. I don't have any of the mod, or I do have one mod installed to remove the illithid abilities, but on this server side, or on this separate save, I have everything all removed. But I'll show you now what the classes look like. One of the subclasses I was looking forward to the most is the Shadow Magic Sorcerer. This is going to be my next Dark Urge playthrough. It just fits perfectly thematically. So this gives you obviously the superior Dark Vision and Strength of the Grave, giving you a free get back up. What's cool about the Shadow Magic is you do get the Hound of Ill Omen, which I'll show off here. At level 3, you get the Darkness spell for free, and in addition to this, you also get the Eyes of the Darkness. Create a Dark Shroud that obscures targets. This uses 2 sorcery points, so you can use your sorcery to fuel this instead. And you can see there, it comes with its own unique icon, and I think it's actually awesome because it incorporates this sorcery point into it, which just looks awesome. And of course, some of the new cantrips that people are excited to see. You got like Bursting Sinew, which is a 1d10 piercing damage and causing those to impale those around it, so it's an exploding corpse spell. So you can take Karlach in, throw a corpse, and then explode it yourself. Kind of funny. We also got ourselves Booming Blade, which I know a lot of people really wanted to see. And I like that icon that they used for that. I think it fits perfectly thematically. And at level 6 is when you get the Hound of Ill Omen. Summon forth a creature of darkness. Using a bonus action and 3 sorcery points, you can get yourself this dog. I love that. So cool. And I'll show this off right now. So summon forth the creature of darkness. Cool animations here as well. And there's the goodest boy. Oh, I wonder if he'll get along with Scratch. Scratch is like, what is going on? What the dog doing? But yeah, this looks cool. It's like a burning, shadowy version of it. So it has its ominous bite. You can bite a target and possibly place an omen on them. Whenever an omen, it's basically what this does is so it'll do like an omen of acid damage. Then you have to do acid damage. You'll get back a sorcery point. It's actually a pretty cool way to play the game. And then you also got like the Umbral Tangle here. Trap your enemy with Shadowing Vines. 2d6 necrotic damage. So yeah, you got this here, which can help with a bit with crowd control. It also will take aggro, and it can set up the omens for you to fulfill. So pretty interesting. I think this is going to add to a lot of fun gameplay for the sorcerer. Another one of my favorite classes is the Paladin, and they got the Oath of the Crown Paladin, which I'll be doing videos on talking about each of these subclasses in the future here. So this gives us the Righteous Clarity. Target yourself or an ally to additionally give the target proficiency bonus to their attack rolls. And as the Oath of the Crown tenets, law upholds civilization and order. Loyalty, your word is your bond. Without loyalty, oaths and laws are meaningless. Responsibility, deal with the consequences of your action and fulfill your duties and obligations. So I'll show off the best special benefits you get with this subclass. So at level 3, we get the actions, the Turn the Tide, 1d6 plus 3 healing, shout and heal all nearby non-enemy creatures, and the Champion's Challenge. Come at me, brother. Challenge the enemies around you, compelling them to attack only you. Any attacks that they may have against other targets will have disadvantage. So this is finally we got ourselves a goading attack, which is just awesome. And also there's like the compelled dueling command spells, command being one of my favorites too, so this is nice. Also for its oath spells, you get Spiritual Weapon, which is usually only available to clerics, so that's nice to give yourself a bonus action ability. Our level 7 subclass feature, Divine Allegiance. When an ally within 1.5 meters of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically substitute your own health for your allies taking the damage instead of them. So it's kind of like a protector class, which is nice. Another nice thing is we get the Warden of Vitality and Spirit Guardians at level 9. Spirit Guardian is an amazing spell. So nice to have this and Spiritual Weapon added to it. It's basically like a cleric kind of version of the Paladin. So in a nutshell, the Oath of the Crown is all about protecting your allies, being a buffer and a healer. It's actually kind of an interesting subclass, and I'm still a big fan of the Vengeance. Probably will still keep playing that, but this is a nice one to switch things up. And I'll also show off the Hexblade here because I know this is another class that's very popular. So you get the Wrathful Smite and Shield spells. Only downside is this does take up one of your Warlock spell slots, so you're not going to want to use this quite often, honestly, because it's just going to be a kind of... Unless you multi-class and take something that's going to give you level 1 spell slots, you'll be burning them at level 5 at higher levels, which is not ideal. But it gives you the Bind Hexed Weapon, so you become proficient in the weapon and you can apply the Hexblade's Curse with it, which curses that target your damage rolls against, you get a bonus equal to your proficiency, and the number you need to roll to hit a critical hit is reduced by 1. And you get the subclass feature Hex Warrior, proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. You gain Bind Hex Weapon, which lets you use a Charisma modifier instead of Strength or Dex. So this makes for a nice single level dip for a lot of classes that want to get martial weapon proficiency, medium armor, as well as, and the nice thing is too, whenever you add in, let's say the fighter to a cleric, or not to a cleric, if you add in the fighter subclass to someone that only gets like light armor or just clothing, they don't actually get heavy armor proficiency unless it's a subclass feature, which this is a subclass feature, so you get the medium armor proficiency on any class that you choose. So if you played originally as a wizard and you added this in, you'll get that ability to wear medium armor, so that's quite nice. It also gets the ability to choose Branding Smite at level 3, which is nice. And with the Pact of the Blade, the Hexblade Warlocks who already have this bind weapon do not gain this bind. So it's kind of cool they added a little bit of text there for this. So this makes it actually worthwhile taking the Pact of the Chain for the Quasit. I also love the icon for Toll the Dead. This just looks really nice. Now, this level 6 feature you get is the Accursed Spectre. Whenever you slay at a creature within 18 meters, that is afflicted with the Hexblade's curse, you raise an Accursed Spectre that will fight alongside you for a short period of time. That's pretty cool. It's no Dread Overlord Warlock subclass, but hey, that one's overpowered compared to this. This is meant to be played with the base game. And it also gets Cone of Cold and Banishing Smite range for its level 5 spells they can get, and Cone of Cold is one of the most powerful ones. So this is nice to see, and I'm also a fan of Banishing Smite, so that's actually pretty awesome. At level 10, we get the Armor of Hexes. When a creature you curse with the Hexblade's curse attacks you, potentially nullify the attack as a reaction. This is a 50% chance of succeeding. That's actually pretty strong. Also, a nice little change here that's not really noticed much, but Life Drinker used to previously say, attacks me with your packed weapon, when it in fact worked with any weapon. Now it says properly, attacks me with your weapon, deal additional damage equal to your charisma modifier. So that's nice that they changed that, because they used to literally just say made with your packed weapon. So if you chose anything but packed the blade, you wouldn't get that bonus. So it's actually a pretty good spell list. You got yourself Cone of Cold, you got Banishing Smite range, you got yourself the Booming Blade cantrip as well, Eldritch Blast obviously, and the Hexblade's Curse, the Bind Hex weapon, so you can hex or bind your weapon there and it gets that cool green glow to it. Yeah, this is going to be a fun subclass, and I'll be covering all the other subclasses at a future date. Let me know what you want to see with the patch 8 stress test, and I will make that content for you guys. I am so happy that I got into this, so thank you to the YouTube viewer that was able to get me this code. Really appreciate it. So yeah, expect more patch 8 content coming soon. I might do some breakdowns of the photo mode, how to get the most out of it. I am a photographer, so I do got a little bit of knowledge on how to get the most out of that kind of stuff, and also we'll kind of go over all the subclasses. I'll probably do builds for them all as well, so you can stay tuned for that later today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.